The New Oxford Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha is presented in order to encourage the study and understanding of both the canonical scriptures, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the Old Testament Apocrypha. The Old Testament Apocrypha contains a rich variety of types of materials: historical writings, romantic tales, 2 fine examples of wisdom literature, apocalyptic prophecy, late additions and supplements to the Old Testament books. It provides valuable source materials for the understanding of the history and culture of post-Old Testament Judaism, and for appreciating the background of the New Testament. For example, information from the intertestamental books bears upon such matters as the development of the sects of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the growth of interest in the coming of the Messiah, the extension of beliefs concerning angels and demons, the dissemination of doctrine of the resurrection, to mention only a few of the institutions and beliefs which are taken for granted in the New Testament, but of which there are only allusions in the Old Testament. Although the Christian churches have taken divergent attitudes toward the books of the Apocrypha, and Catholics and Protestants have held differing views regarding their authority, the writings of the Apocrypha belong to the common heritage of the Church from Judaism, and they have been a part of the great English translations of the Bible, including the King James Version of 1611, the English Revised Version of the last century, and now the Revised Standard Version, the Catholic Douay Version of 1609-1610, in accord with the Catholic view of the divine authority of these books, followed the Standard Latin Version, the Vulgate, of which it is a translation, and having these writings among or a part of the Old Testament books, the Protestant versions make a separate section of them. The original commission of the Standard Bible Committee, which was entrusted with making the Revised Standard Version, did not call for a revised translation of the Apocrypha. The motivation for producing the Revised Standard Version of the Apocrypha came from an obviously increasing desire of the churches for it. The Revised Standard Version has become an important instrument in the ecumenical dialogue among English-speaking Christians. Now, with the second edition of the translation of the New Testament and the translation of 3 and 4 Maccabees and Psalm 151, its contribution to the understanding of the Bible is even more significant. It is gratifying that this version of the Scriptures has received the hearty commendation of churchmen and scholars of all the major denominations of Christendom. The editors are particularly pleased that His Eminence, the late Richard Cardinal Cushing, Archbishop of Boston, Massachusetts, endorsed the first edition of the Oxford Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha, granting it the imprimatur. Likewise, His Eminence Athenagoras, Archbishop of Thyatira and Great Britain, has expressed his great satisfaction that by the addition of 3 and 4 Maccabees and Psalm 151, there is now available in the Revised Standard Version the complete canon of Septuagint Version, which is in use among Orthodox churches. Thus, this edition can serve as a common Bible for Protestant, Roman Catholic, and Eastern Orthodox readers alike. Special thanks must be expressed not only to the several contributors to the volume, but also to Father Philip J. King, St. John Seminary, Brighton, Massachusetts, Father W. Van Etten Casey, S.J. College of the Holy Cross, Worcester, Massachusetts, and Father Eugene H. Malley, Mount St. Mary's Seminary of the West, Norwood, Ohio, for valuable additional advice and counsel. Written by Herbert G. May and Bruce M. Metzger.